Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence and welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for tuning in. And in today's episode, we're going to be taking a closer look at 4 fragrances from the Acqua di Parma Blu Mediterraneo series, so stay tuned. Now, before I start the video, I do want to mention that this video is brought to you by Scentbird. They are the sponsors of this video. They were kind enough to send me 4 travel decants, and they're not really travel decants, they're sprays in and of themselves. And so it looks just like this. You twist it open, kind of like lipstick. The distribution on the atomizer is wonderful, and it makes for really easy travel. And so these cost $14.95 a month, if I'm not mistaken, and the website has over 450 different selections that you could possibly choose from. These are both designer and niche fragrances. What you basically do is you go online, you create an account, you update your queue, and every month they send you a new fragrance. And so you can kind of base it off of, what you've liked in the past, and that could influence your future selections. But what I like the most about Scentbird is that they do have this incentive program where if you get a friend to sign up using your link, for every friend that you can get to sign up is a month for free that Scentbird will give you just whatever fragrance you want, which I think is really, really cool. And so thank you so much to Scentbird for sending these to me for my consideration and also allowing me to be able to do this video on 4 fragrances from the house of Acqua di Parma. Acqua di Parma is an Italian niche heritage luxury house. I don't think I got the order of adjectives right in that, but they have really wonderful fragrances, and the ones from this collection are geared towards the hotter weather. And so a lot of these are really heavy on the citrus, and I am a citrus fan. It has to be done right. It has to have depth and dimension, and it has to be intriguing. And so it cannot be simple and linear. And I feel like a lot of these have some really good offerings. And so I guess we'll just do them in order, but we'll try the first one out. And I do have all of these pre-sprayed. And the first one, I've actually worn a lot of this one, if you can't already tell, is called Bergamotto di Calabria. And of course, it translates to Calabrian bergamot. Now, this one does have a lot of bergamot in it, but what I like about it in combination with the various citrus notes that are used in here is it also has a spicy ginger note in the background. And it's not too heavy on the ginger, but it's actually just enough of it that it puts it in unique territory. As far as the bergamot is concerned, though, it's not my favorite. I really do like Xerjoff Neo. I like Bergamot 22 by Le Labo. I feel like the citrus note that's used in those fragrances is much more crisp, it's much more full, much more real. I feel like in this one, it's a bit muted or dull. I would kind of compare it to Ferrari's bergamot. I feel like they're kind of on the same level where it kind of gives off a designer-ish appeal. And so this one is not my favorite, but I won't deny the fact that it's super easy to wear, very versatile, and it's very appealing. And my wife actually really likes it too. And so we went down to Atlantic City and Cape May for the weekend, and I actually brought this with me and I overdosed on it. That's another thing too. The performance on this one wasn't that great. It is incredibly versatile, and I'll just let it be known right now, all 4 of these are for this summertime. And so it might be a bit out of season unless you live in a really hot climate, in which case you can continue to wear these. So let's move on to the next one. The next one that we'll be talking about is called Arancia di Capri. And this one is a petitgrain citrus type of a scent. It has a lot of bergamot. It has citron, if I'm not mistaken, but I definitely pick up on a lot of the lemon that's used in here. The petitgrain gives it that orangey vibe, but it also has a woodsy undertone to it. I feel like this is a smell that I've smelled in many other fragrances, and so there are a lot of offerings out there with orange bitters, neroli, petitgrain, and they kind of do it in the same vibe or direction. I think perhaps what I like in this one is that the orange note is a bit more noticeable. But this is a very plain scent, and though for that reason, I think that I might enjoy it upon initial application, but after a few minutes, I'll just get a bit bored of it. But it's a great scent nonetheless. If you are a fan of citrus, I think this one will really appeal to you, and I like it more than the bergamot offering that I spoke about previously. And so I feel like the bergamot opening, it's nice for a bergamot scent. It could have been done a bit more realistically with a bit more vibrance, but I feel as though the citrus that's used in this second one is a bit more open and a bit more inviting. And so I think you will like that one a little bit more. And there's that complexity on account of the woodsy undertones. Now, the third one It's called Chinotto di Liguria, and this is the myrtle-leafed orange tree. And I actually like this one, so I secretly put them in the order that I like from least to most. And so this one has that aromatic component to it. I really like the myrtle that's used in here. It kind of gives off this refined and sophisticated vibe. There's a little bit of juniper berry in here, which grounds the fragrance, but I like how it has that orangey, citrusy component to it, but it's so varied in terms of the citrus elements that are used in here. I remember there's bergamot and lemon, there's citron, there's grapefruit. Yeah, it's just a really open composition, and it also has a little bit of cardamom to kind of offset the vibrance of the scent. Really well done. This one brings forth a lot of complexity and a lot of ingenuity, because I feel like citrus scents can really get lost in the shuffle because a lot of them are just so overdone and they become banal and mundane. But this one does things in a different direction. But by far my favorite of these four would have to be Fico di Amalfi. Now, I am a big fan of fig, and I have to tread lightly when I say that because fig is a fantasy note, and so there's no such thing as a natural fig perfume out there. So all fig scents are actually an accord. And so when you take a look at something like Philosopos, that's one of my favorites, but that gives an overripe feel, kind of like a pulp by Byredo, and so I have to be in the mood to wear that one. You have something like Figue Eden from the Armani collection. That one I actually do like a lot, but the fig that's used in that one is very complex, and so there's a lot going on in the base. I feel like Ferrari has a fig-based scent, which in my opinion is quite boring, but this one is by far my favorite fig scent of all the ones that I've tried, probably in second place with Philosopos. What I really like about this one, again, the citrus. It just makes it so easy to wear. It increases the versatility. There's this oceanic accord going on in here, which I feel like doesn't take away fully from the appeal of the fig, but it only enhances it by adding that diversity and that, very well-deserved juxtaposition. Man, I really like this one. Fico di Amalfi is one that I feel like I will be adding to my collection very soon. This is about 10 milliliters, so this is going to last me for a long time. And now that we're gearing into the autumn season, I feel like I won't be wearing this one as much, but it's definitely something I'll hang on to. Thank you so much, Scentbird, for providing me with these travel sprays for my consideration and allowing me to do this video. And thank you at home for watching this video. If you are new to this channel, if you did take something of value from this video, please do consider subscribing. I would love your subscription. I would also love to interact with you, so leave a comment down below, and I try to respond as quickly as possible. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.